Hello, and welcome to another Rangaroo cast with me, Rangaroo. And today we are doing a 1v1 on Hell's Highway. We are definitely going to a highway to Hell. So on the bottom side, in the pukest greenest yellow, we got ourselves Insane Onyx playing as Chimera. And in top, in the red, playing as United States of America, we got ourselves Sports Cruelty. So let's speed up the early games. Sorry. Now I want to talk about a little bit about this map before we really get into it, because the quite interesting thing is that both sides got an easy bank that you can get to, but there's also two other banks in the middle which are pretty much up to grabs for either side. It's usually the same amount of travel time from each of these from each of the bases. So a lot of money to be thrown around in this match, because there's usually more banks in this map than standard 1v1 maps. So let's take a look at Sports Cruelty. He's got himself a barracks going up and getting himself a field hospital. Yes, that is indeed what it is called. He has one oil and one aluminum right now. And if you take a look at Onyx, he's got two Raxes going for very heavy infantry strategy. And on this map, quite good, because once again, lots of banks to take over and loads of money to be made. And he's just sticking with the oil for now, not going for the aluminum. And early game Chimera, you can definitely do that, because I think the Spear Vehicle Bay, Spear Vehicle Bay is only oil. And then the Puma only costs oil, and the Puma upgrade only costs oil. So all you really need is lots of oil in the early game, until you want to get those, precious upgrades later on. So Onyx is going to be taking both middle banks, fully under his control. And Cruelty coming in with the dust-off helicopter. And he's going to be landing right by Onyx's bank. There's only two felons in here. While Cruelty has a bunch of Marines ready to roar in. They do have the dust-off, giving medical support. Marines getting right in there. And with that, as you can see, they're getting killed by the dust-off, and they are going to come out on top, and the Javelin's going to go in there for a bit of added defense. Here, he hasn't captured his bank back here yet. Now, Onyx is getting himself the Spear Vehicle Bay, unless it does only cost oil, and getting himself an aluminium field. Sports Cruelty pumping out those Marines and going straight to DEFCON 2. And get himself another Recon Humvee. Now Onyx is getting snipers, those brutal SAS chaps. Try and get those infantry out of the building from a far distance. A safe distance at that. And he's pumping out Pumas. Probably going to wait for Puma to come out, maybe transport the SAS, because SAS are quite slow. Slower than standard infantry. Transport and Cruelty getting himself a logistical bay and another field generator. And starting to expand his base quite a bit, getting an FOB down. He's got enough aluminium field and getting another oil at the same time. And Onyx, I think one of his Pumas has gone off. Yes, yeah, is the SAS Puma. The Javelin's going to get some shots off, but those SAS guys, the Marines are going to do the smart thing and jump out. Very good tactic. If you're getting sniped at, if you're on a bank or on a building, and your chaps are getting sniped at, and you don't like getting sniped, you run out the building, hide behind it, and as you can see, this worked really well for Cruelty. That was really good timing on his. That was really bloody good timing. Because what he backed out the building, and then Onyx thought, hey, he left the building, let's try and rush in there of the SAS. And right when they got close to the building, Cruelty jumped back in, and his Marines at closer range of their assault rifles and mowed down the SAS. That was some very good little play here. Always the little things that make the biggest difference in, well, pretty much any RTS game. Now Onyx has figured himself to go get Tigra helicopters and upgrade into the Sword Protocol, so we all know there's going to be a lot of AT missiles coming out very soon. Cruelty getting himself or his dust off is still alive, but getting himself some snipers. 4 snipers out there, and some javelin guys. Probably try and probably take the bank on the right, I suggest, or I guess anyway. And Cruelty getting himself a helipad of his own, And Onyx Puma is just going ham on the bank, slowly but surely. Knocking off brick after brick. One Marine does go down. I think that second one won't survive very long. Now Onyx does have a second Puma going straight down the highway with 2 SAS guys in it. Probably barreling over it. You see, we've already got some SAS guys over here just getting completely 360 no-scoped by the snipers. But Onyx is just going to ignore the bank and go straight for the main base. Now I do believe, yeah, SAS guys can capture buildings, so he could probably capture a refinery or 2. And there's nothing really here to stop him right now. And he did unload the SAS. They're going to be just taking shots at close range, or long range, using their Puma as cover. And Cruelty is going to be buying those Guardian helicopters. And Onyx has already got his helicopters out. Now, if both sides go for pretty much a pure helicopter engagement, where, you know, all they do is buy helicopters, Mr. Onyx will definitely be at their advantage, because the Tigers can get those AA missile upgrades, which make him an absolutely devastating anti-helicopter unit. So it's really going to be down to Cruelty being a bit more protective with his Guardians. See Onyx already bringing out the Tigers. As we all know, Tigra anti-tank missiles are an absolute bane on people's refineries. And just the standard rocket pod just round do an awful lot of damage. Now Cruelty is going to be moving up. He does have his javelin knock out the Puma. And the Guardians are going to be chasing. Now in this sort of upgrade, the Guardians do have an advantage because Tigers don't have the AA missiles yet, and the Guardians have 5 extra HP. But oh no, the Tigers are getting the longer shots out. The Guardians using their, anti-tank missiles as anti-air missiles, which I keep forgetting. The Guardian can do that. These things work as an AA missile as well, which is a little bit weird, as in real life the Hellfire missile is pretty much strictly an anti-tank, anti-infantry unit, or anti-infantry missile at that. Don't think it's all that effective against helicopters, but hey, it's his act of aggression. We have stealth tanks and tactical artillery, Omega Blitzer nukes, so really anything goes in my book. Now Onyx is going to be getting more Tigra attack helicopters, and he's getting this Mistral missile pods now. Cruelty is going to be trying to rout out that lone SAS guy. Does have the little bird there for scouting purposes. I have to admit, Onyx is doing a very good job keeping the pressure on Cruelty. He's making sure that this refinery just keeps on getting hammered. And yeah, the entrance is over here, so I think if they're smart, they can. Yeah, he can still get out and drop off supplies. And Onyx is going to be falling back after taking some casualties. And wow, we're seeing Ospreys. We're actually seeing Ospreys. Did my eyes deceive me? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, these are, if you don't know what these are, they're big bloody transport helicopters that the United States can get, and these ones do have the Gatling gun upgrade. Which is the only upgrade you can get for them. No, I just noticed, they're carrying repair vehicles. I did not know yet. That's really cool. I wonder if his thing can carry a main battle tank. Probably could. So now, this is really smart what Cruelty's doing. He's got these repair vehicles inside the Ospreys. So when the Guardians need a bit of a top off, he just, you know, unload a Hercules, repair them up, and continue moving on. But Onyx is moving up with his Pumas and Tigers. Guardian's getting those AT missiles off. Now Onyx does have those AA missiles, so he can a little bit more of an advantage right now. You know, see those AA missiles just eat up the Ospreys. They both go down, and the Hercules do survive the crash though, but immediately get eaten up by the Tigers. The Guardians are going to be falling back. And Onyx is doing a really good job putting up the pressure. I mean, he's constantly attacking and getting right into Cruelty's face. You know, he hasn't attacked his space over here. It's just pretty much unmolested so far. So Cruelty is still getting a very good amount of resources in. Cruelty does have himself an MG nest for defensive purposes, and even an unupgraded MG nest is still pretty damn good against helicopters, because they do quite a bit of damage over time. So this entire, pretty much, you know, circle area, you don't want to be inside it if you're a helicopter, because you're going to be slowly losing damage, because, well, machine guns do hurt, believe it or not. What do you have over here? Cruelty completely sniping out the bank here, and he is going to be taking control of it. 4 snipers and 2 javelins are definitely a force to be reckoned with. And now he has this entire line of banks under his control. Cruelty's doing a good job keeping his economy up, even though he's the one on the defensive. Let's take a look at Onyx's base. What does he have back here? He does have the defensive center, and he's just pumping out his Tigers as usual, but nothing too much. A pretty sparse base. Does have a repair outpost as well, because he is spending all his money on his Tigra attack force. And he does have mass-mounted sights now, so these Tigers are fully upgraded and now very, very scary. So he can better range, and better stealth attacks. And that is what mass-mounted sight does. I do remember what the units have as upgrades. And that AT missile range, as you can see, yeah, it's pretty scary. Now, Cruelty is moving up once again with his Ospreys and Guardian helicopters. And the helipad's barely being kept alive. The logistic outpost keeping it repaired, but it will go down. Cruelty bringing up another MG nest. Guardian's going right in there. The Osprey's getting shot down. You know, the Hercules barely surviving. Oh, I get it now. Wait, no. Okay. I'm thinking that, does the Hercules repair vehicles while it's inside the Osprey? Because this is getting repaired, but this is getting repaired by the one down here. But still, it's an interesting strategy using Hercules like that. It's like in StarCraft 2 where the Medivac little helicopter thing could carry siege tanks, drop siege tanks behind the enemy base, blow them up to smithereens. Cruelty's getting himself another helipad, and let's look at these Tigers. With the mass-mounted sight upgrades, they can snipe the MG nest. So it does take them a little bit because they are quite defensive. And Cruelty is moving up Stingers. The Stingers are quite slow. And Onyx is he's just playing it smart with Chimera, and this is really such a great strategy with Chimera right now, is getting these Tigger attack helicopters. Even though you don't have a lot, once you have that mass-mounted sight upgrade, you can just absolutely wreck enemy forces, because you can snipe him, and when the enemy tries and, well, assaults you, you just fall back, because you have such a far range against the enemy that you have so much time to get out of an engagement that you don't want to be in. You know, oh, look at Cruelty, he's got the Stingers inside the building. Does Does Onyx see us?
Storage capacity
Oh, he
has reached
does,
its
he does.
maximum.
There he is going to go straight in. The one Tigre does get badly wounded. And that sort of strategy right here of using those stingers in sort of an ambush position is the best stray. Well, one of the best strays to do with helicopters. The other one being interceptor planes like the F-22 and the PAC-FA. Because with helicopters, they can always run array.
Stealth
If you
enemy
can
unit detected.
ambush them and make it so they can't run array, or getting into engagement that they, you know, they're forced to get an engaged with, like stingers in a building where they're right really close to the Tigers, that is the best way to engage enemy attack helicopters. It usually is easier to just get planes, but Cruelty opting for another helipad. He's going to be fighting the Tigers head on with even more Guardians. Now, he does have the armory, so he's probably got the Enlos upgrade, which does mean the Guardians do have extended range for the Hellfire missiles, which will definitely help with fighting those Tigers with the mass-mounted sights.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Now the sniper's back here, still holding the bank, Cruelty not even bothering this, and oh my word, here we have the Exo Soldier train, oh the Exo Soldier Congo line, as they all move along the highway. Now this is now a pretty scary force. Now all he needs is Terminators and he has a Chimera triple entendre. The Phalanx missile doing their Phalanx turret doing their best to shoot down missiles, but as you can see with the rocket pods, it's just too many. You can't shoot them all down. And Cruelty is helping himself get more helicopters. I think, well, honestly, the Guardian against Tigris isn't the best thing to do. Even though he does have the Hercules for repair, these guys just can't match the firepower of these Tigris unless you can get a massive amount of those Guardians. Honestly, his best bet would be to get some airports and start getting some F-22s, because helicopters can't escape F-22s now. No, Onyx is he is wrecking Cruelty's side base. Yeah, I do think, yeah, this is pretty much empty, so it ain't going to be too big of a hit in Cruelty's economy. If he hit it a bit earlier, it definitely could have caused a bit of a dent. And he is attacking over Tigris over here, he's moving up with the Exo Soldiers on the left-hand side. Tigris being a distracting force, and as you can see, they're doing a great job. They're shooting down the Ospreys, they're shooting down the Guardians, a little bird, barely holding on. And oh, it does seem like, okay, that is true. The Ospreys with a Hercules inside it do repair vehicles. You don't have to unload the Hercules. That is such a cool strategy. Okay, let's get back to the Exo Soldiers, which are completely racking face, blowing up at refinery, and they're getting shot at by the Guardians missiles. The Ospreys just fallen back.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
But damn, I just really want to talk about that. That is such a cool strategy. I'm really impressed with you, because it's like, imagine doing this with a ground force, for example, where you have Ospreys, like two of these Ospreys with Hercules inside them, supporting a ground force. They can quickly fly over, top them off, and then run away without being in danger. And the Osprey, they are pretty tanky. They do have 30 HP, which is a lot of HP for a helicopter. The only helicopter having more HP being the Superhind. But this is actually working out for Cruelty. I have to take back my statement about the Guardians not working. It's the Ospreys that really tie the whole thing together. And he does have 5 of these guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. I don't know if you guys are as I'm trying to think of a word. I always forget my words. As infused with this strategy, because this is really cool. And Onyx trying to move in with the Exo Soldiers. They are bunkered up, they are healing themselves, they do have the auto repair upgrade. But I think the Guardian's firepower should just be enough. he's just mopping up the Exo Soldiers. We've got more Tigers coming in, but Onyx just doesn't really have enough Tigers to deal with his big blob of air superiority. This is what it is, it's a big blob of air superiority. Now one Osprey does go down. If Onyx really wants to put a dent in his force, he has to focus fire all his units on individual helicopters. He can't be spreading out that damage. And that's exactly what he's doing. Another Osprey does go down. And this is going to be about picking off the Ospreys. Picking off those healers so the DPS can't do damage. Just like a standard World of Warcraft raid. They're just completely destroying the building. It's just probably for the best. And Onyx is still trying to destroy his refinery, but there's nothing in it. This is a completely worthless thing to fight over. But I don't think Onyx knows how.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
And you also got really, as like a player, this is a sort of tip. When you're attacking enemy bases, especially refineries, think about how far you are in the game. What's the game time? Even though it doesn't say out on the mini-map, it's a pain in the butt. But think about how far the game has progressed, and usually, you know, the home base refineries by like 10 to 15 minutes will usually be depleted. So don't bother attacking them, they're just worthless damage that you're wasting it. You could be putting on the field generators. And same over here, you know, usually after time, they're going to be out of resources, so don't bother attacking them. It's just a race to damage, and you're just giving your opponent time to real counter up. Let's take a look at Onyx's base, because Ridge has been looking at cruelties this entire time. Now Onyx does have himself a repair outpost, does have a sword vehicle bay, so he might be seeing some Terminators being brought out. And he's just trying to get those Tigris up. Let's take a look at each guy's economy while we're at this.
Aluminum field depleted.
Onyx not doing pretty good. His home bases are out of oil. He is getting aluminium over here, and he only has one bank. He is not doing too good. Are there any other oil fields? No, this map is actually very oil fields.
Unit is under attack.
I mean, we've got a big oil field over here, but...
Building complete.
Oh, right. Yeah, there we go. Never mind. I was looking through Onyx's. I forgot he actually hides. But yeah, he hasn't really taken advantage of the oil field over here. Because he still has a lot of resources near him that he could take disposal of, but he's really spent a lot of his match just getting those Tigros out and trying to just put the harassment and cruelty that he sort of forgot about his economy, it seems, rather. Cruelty, let's take a look at him. Look, he is as rich as a guy in Dubai. He is all that aluminium. You know, he is doing very good right now. And he does have a very big attack helicopter force. And he's going to be attacking Onyx's side, and damn, that is a pretty far out refinery for Onyx. A little bit risky, and it ain't going to pay off as it will get blown up to a pulp. And as you can see, he's just eating this up. Here we go, Onyx trying to come in, but he doesn't have much Tigris. You know, he is doing a smart thing, he is trying to keep range. He's just trying to pick off a helicopter, run out of time, that's all it's about. Just try to take out the Ospreys. He's going to go straight for the Hercules here. And that's also, I just realised, there's another nice thing about having Ospreys, but oh look. Cruelty does surrender, and yeah, it will be a GG. Onyx taking a victory, but damn, I have to admit, that was really good play from both sides. Very interesting strategies. Cruelty doing that Osprey thing still amazes me. That is such a cool strategy. I love it. I really love it. Because that's a way to make those Guardian helicopters a lot more effective, giving them a bit of extra tank. But Onyx, those Tigris, they're very deadly. Just to put it honestly, Tigris are really deadly attack helicopters. With the range upgrade, you know, the AA missiles are still a force to be reckoned with. And always, if you see attack helicopters, especially Tigers, the best way to make sure they die, not deter them, but actually get blown up to a bloody poop, is to get planes usually, or ambushing them. But yeah, just that's really good play from both sides. Really good play. That was fun. That was really fun to watch. And well, I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I have time for. This has been another Rango cast. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.